And I call the member for Goldstein.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the wonderful people in the Goldstein electorate who have gone and endured, like all other Australians, the difficulties of the COVID-19 pandemic, and to particularly acknowledge the resilience of many families and workers who have done the right thing by themselves and their community to keep us safe during a difficult time. And I know a number of other members, including those just expressed, their heartfelt thanks and appreciation to the nurses and the doctors in their community. And we have many of those, many based at the Sandringham Hospital in Sandringham, our local community hospital, as well as the local private hospitals, and of course the ones nearby that are doing COVID-19 testing, including Monash and The Alfred Hospital. Each day those people go to work not knowing the circumstances in which they're going to face, and nurses and doctors care and support for those people, make sure there is proper testing so that we can constrain the outbreak of this virus. They are of course not the only care and health workers who are providing an important service to our community at this time. We have many people in aged care who are doing exactly the same thing for people who are vulnerable and need assistance and support. And so we say thanks to them as well. To many of the people who are working in small business, of course, to the employers who are supporting workers at this difficult time. We know how difficult it is. Yes, the federal government has provided the JobKeeper program to assist those people and those businesses that need assistance. But let's not kid ourselves and think that it has solved all problems. It hasn't. We have people who face challenges around rents and keeping payrolls going, managing their finances and their debt, particularly when they're restricted from the potential to open. And of course, the workers in the supermarket sector and all of the retail businesses to make sure we have fresh food supply, because one of the most important things, Deputy Speaker, throughout this crisis is that we remain healthy and happy and maintain our mental health, and maintaining a good diet is an important part of that process. Of course, to the teachers, and as you know, Deputy Speaker, my husband's a teacher, and so he's been Zoom teaching from our kitchen table, as many other teachers have been as well. All the work that you're doing in supporting children's ongoing education so they can go on and not have a disrupted life from this pandemic is critical. And yes, many people have had to learn to do different things, and they've had to learn to be flexible in a circumstance that they weren't necessarily trained to do. And we're greatly appreciative of your efforts in doing the right thing by the next generation so that they can make sure they can continue to go on and prosper and succeed. There are a lot of community-based organisations that have also shown their mettle and how they are an important part of the social fabric of our community. And of course, to the Glen Ira and Bayside support services, we say thank you so much for everything that you have done. Of course, there are many days where I walk down the shopping strips of our community and the reality of the COVID-19 pandemic becomes obvious. When I walk down Centre Road in Bentley, Hampton Street in Hampton, Martin Street, Bay Street and Church Street in Brighton, of course the Sandy Village and Beaumaris Concourse amongst many others. And you see how difficult and challenging life can be when people are faced in isolation and difficulty. And many people are also facing the challenge of isolation in their own homes. I know people are getting frustrated, and part of the challenge is finding the balance and making sure we get the measures right and making sure that you understand the rationale that our states as well as the Commonwealth are taking to make sure we put healthcare needs first. And that is not going to be an easy task now, and it's not going to be an easy task going forward. But it requires patience and resilience. So if you need support and assistance, don't be afraid to reach out. Make sure you build a sense of social connectedness with others. Use it as an opportunity to exercise, to maintain your physical and mental health. And make sure you show and connect with your loved ones, because they're an important part of surviving this pandemic too. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.